Hi, everyone. Well, it's the 12th, and I'm going to read to you a journal that I wrote on the 4th. And I wrote 2 in a row, and if you'll click over to the transcript, you can read along, and there's also a link in it to the one that this follows on the heel of. So it's been a while now since I wrote it. I have no memory of what it contains, so we'll find that out together. This was written 10/4. The Mayan day was 2 wisdom. It's called Internal House Cleaning. Muck covers divine identity, and you must engage. Okay, well, I can't tell you how long it's been since one journal followed right on the heels of another one. Let's just say it's been a while. I don't even know the subject matter for this one, just that the push to write from within is strong. So here goes. What is different in my world today? What has changed? Well, identity itself in some way has had a little bit of a makeover. It has come through a rough patch. In some ways, I know I am different. What that difference is has yet to be revealed fully. The previous journal was my first foray into the exploration. So I am made new. On the other side of the catharsis, new life arises. It could be seen to be a bit of a dangerous voyage in letting the self, as you had conceived of it, go. One simply doesn't know what will come. There are no guarantees, not about identity. It exists, and then it doesn't. It is malleable in 3D. One doesn't know what the possibilities are, all of them, so it's quite an adventure, this setting aside of the self, or the thoughts, the concepts around self. Self as consciousness cannot be set aside, that I know of. Okay, so what is solid? What does one cling to? Well, on the one hand, nothing. To let go is to let go. Comfortable it is not, that's for sure. The comfort zone is perhaps the first thing that must be surrendered to take such a ride. So, what is solid? What remains? What cannot be let go of? Is there anything? I don't know. Let's look. Now, for one thing, there is source. And source, if we apply a word to it, is love, divine love. So these there are. Source, love. There is truth as well. Truth is both divine and powerful. The facts by themselves are not truth. They are just facts. And this truth I speak of is with a capital T. Now, did I lose contact with joy on this ride? Well, yes, for a while. When the I becomes so malleable, it forgets such things as the ever-present availability of inner joy, this contact point with the divine. Let's see. So yes, I lost contact with that, so I cannot report directly that it remained. I quite suspect that it did, though, and I just forgot to touch down into that. Letting go of one's path, of seeing one's path as having any worth, that was frightening. Looking at self through new eyes can be that. Laying down the path on the altar and letting things sort of just be what they are, this takes surrender, and it is enabled by holding beliefs lightly. That much I can report. I did not completely, totally let go of this, but I did in large part, large enough to enter devastation anyway. It was enough for mine now. Seeing the very things one had valued most as potentially not at all of worth. There's a challenge not easy to take, and I don't recommend it either, unless your path brings it squarely to you. This is no joke, at least not in the land of 3D. In higher realms, it is different. Right now, I'm just dealing with 3D. You know, in a way, it was quite like a death. That's what it was, in a way, the death or surrender, the laying down on the altar of everything that I had held dear, the very core of import as I saw it in this life, my whole reason for being, my chosen path. It had to be let go to see what would remain after the refiner's fire burned through it. With hindsight, I see that one has a certain faith in the light, a faith in source. One simply knows that what is true, really true, will survive any and all comers. What is of worth cannot die. Only the dross is burned up. In the rising of frequencies we all find ourselves in the midst of, I doubt my experience in its essence will be unique. Only the truth, only the light and the real can pass into the higher place where we're all headed. Call it what you will, the higher frequencies or density or dimension or plane. No darkness can piggyback into the new space. Thus, we will all likely find ourselves in the midst of personally designed situations designed for our highest good. We are all being invited to surrender that which cannot stand the refiner's fire into that fire, the higher frequencies. The slower, more sluggish energies will be burned off in our transition. This is some of the mechanics of ascension, I guess it could be said. Don't romanticize about this ascension thing. That's my suggestion. There is so much hooey and nonsense out and about on the topic, it becomes, frankly, humorous. Oh my gosh, believe what you choose, and you'll find someone touting that very thing as being right. It's a real morass, a quicksand that is many floundering about, thinking they seek truth, but only thinking so. Swords, sacred swords of light, are standing by at the ready to carve away all the dross we can surrender. But we must let it go. If we cling to it, it remains. That's use of our free will. We don't get to discover if it would have been cut away, burned away by the light. We held on. We just don't know. Rising in frequency, which is what ascension is ultimately, is hard work. It's not something that just comes on us, that happens in a flash and zap, we're ascended. In a way, it will do that, but only for those who have done the hard work to be ready. If we retain too much of darkness, unforgiven, unsurrendered, untransmuted stuff, we won't have enough of identity left that is light to make the transition to the next level, the next reality beyond 3D. So it's all strictly a thing of choice. Free will and choice are built in and respected throughout the whole process at every step. What is foolish, though, is to believe that giving lip service to something has any real meaning. You can't say no all your life, thinking you can suddenly change your mind on your deathbed and cancel out all of those no's and be saved. It doesn't work that way. It is a process by which we are carving out our chosen identity. We get to do that, did you know? Well, you are working on your very own art form, your very own artistic creation, your very identity. You get to choose. That doesn't mean you get to choose what happens, what the flow of events is. The realm of your choice is much different than mine would like it to be, would like to think that it is. What and where is the heart of your integrity? What is the soul of your path? What is of supreme importance to you? What do you really and truly want? Want enough to sacrifice everything for? What means the most to you at your core? who and what are you? You see, you already exist. Your identity is nothing that you must create. You pre-exist everything. You already just are. And of course, I'm speaking of you in spirit. The bodies, they come and go. The secret is that the beauty, the divinity, the loveliness that you are is covered over with quite a load of muck. Your job, as I see it so far, is to sort through the muck, defining each step of the way what is you, what is not. Your job is to surrender all of the muck. As you do this, your true divine identity is what will remain. You are actually discovering you more than creating, certainly not developing you. You require no more development. You are whole and complete. You are perfect. Just a bit covered over with excess baggage that you're in the process of sorting through. So it may help greatly to take pen or pencil or keyboard to the questions above. Go deep within and have a chat with yourself. Meet yourself. Find out who you are, who you really are. Be willing to let go at each step of the way what you now think, what you now believe. What is the muck? It's made up of ideas and beliefs for the most part, remnants of experiences. At least those are what holds it together, the foundation of that which clouds and covers your true identity. With each belief you let go of, a new facet or aspect of you can shine through, and it will, but not until you let go of whatever is covering that right now. Again and yet again, we go through this refiner's fire, this divine light that comes in the midst of true heart surrender, not knowing how we'll come out on the other side, or even if we will sometimes. It can be mightily intense. The little things are easy enough to surrender, addictions to this or that. We're a very addicted race here in the West. There are endless things we've been programmed to believe we need, we can't live without. So the little things go relatively easily if you're ready. Then we get down to the habits, the ways we spend our time, the things that comfort us. Well, these are things that bring a false sense of comfort. They comfort the false identity we believe is ourself. Whatever false beliefs we hold, and 99% of them are false. Until these come down, we won't know who we truly are, won't have contact with that. Beliefs create. Surely you've heard this before. By your beliefs, you are creating. This is one of the main ways you layer the muck over your true self, by your chosen beliefs. As they go and are surrendered, so does the muck disappear. Well, after the many little surrenders, the big ones, those that interfere with the way you live your life. You may find your whole circle of friends changing. You may drop out of school. You may even hit the road as a hobo for a time, as some do. One doesn't know what will arise, what will appear as invitation to help rediscover the hidden self. Capital S. Anything is possible. And this is when surrender goes very deep. And it cannot be faked. You have to be ready for this. You will be called on, that is, given the opportunity to discover yourself in some very deep ways. This is the beauty of the time we have before us that we're living in right now. the season of change. Frequencies are rising, like it or not. Choices are to be made. And the planets echo that. Pluto and Capricorn, Anyway, which choices you make matter a heck of a lot. So turn the darn TV off, set the video game aside for a time, and dive down within, at her heart. Spend some quiet time there. Take a walk in the park, go play with the dogs, sit on a rock, gaze at the sunrise or sunset, hug a tree, whistle with a bird, converse with a squirrel. Get out of your head. How you go about this is perfectly your choice. I select nature because contact with nature empowers this activity. Look any fear dead in the eye. Don't you dare run. The time for stuffing, for running, for fear, that's over. Change by choice or have things forced on you. Well, or maybe a bit of both. The thing is, many people don't ever really engage their free will. These think that by just coasting, by riding along with the stream of happenings, they will somehow be saved. Some rescuer will come on some magical date maybe, and poof, suddenly everything will have mystically changed without any current effort or attention on their part. These will be disappointed, my friends, for the most part, unless they have somehow done the inner work, engaged with the inner self in this life, or heck, who knows, maybe even in other ones. They will not be making this trip, at least not where they thought they were going. It is not a free ride, won by someone else. If I could share anything, any major message with mankind, it would be to take up and engage, to take responsibility for your free will. It would be to recognize the many little ways in your day where you exercise choice, and both take a look at and take full responsibility for them. It would be to wake up out of the media and society-induced daze. We're all in that daze until we choose to step out of it, my friends. And I can't step out of it for you. You absolutely have to do this for yourself. No belief will rescue you. Oh my God, no, my friends. It is your very beliefs that hold you in trance. Yes, you can choose to wake up, but it is not a spectator sport where you can just sit on the sidelines and cheer yourself on to the win. You have got to engage your free will. There is no other way of which I'm aware. You have to do this much. The only way you exercise your sovereignty is by making choices. In a very real sense, free will is all any of us have. You control nothing else in life, do you? What else can you command? If you don't choose to reign over your own internal kingdom this way, no one can help you. You have to take the first step, and the next one, and the next one after that. So get off your hiney. The way will seem scary often enough. You don't need those darn movies and soap operas to put you into situations. Your life comes ready-made with them, but you've got to engage. Unless you recognize your programming, what can you do? If you think everything is just fine in your life right now, then what do you expect is going to change? We've got to quit living life at second hand. Let the celebrities, the show stars, the athletes go, my friends. Start living your own life. You've been left on the sidelines long enough, haven't you? Well, who do you think put you there? If you point the finger of blame anywhere but right at yourself, then have a look at that. You're not taking responsibility. So what if we've been programmed? So what, I say? Wake the hell up. Get a life and get it now before it's too late. Frequencies are rising now. They're not waiting for some magical date. This is all happening right now. What are you waiting for? What do you or anyone think 2012 is bringing? You're in spectator mode if you're waiting for anything. Take the bull by the horns. Enter your now. Make a difference. Be the difference that you are to the earth. Recognize that just by your being, by the state of your consciousness, you do make a difference to life right now, every moment. So, what kind of a difference are you making right this minute? What is the state of your integrity? Are you in full alignment with that? How does it feel to be you? Are you content? Is that contentment real, do you think, or could it be false? Only you know. Deep inside, there in your center, you surely know. Get in close touch with that. Spend some time in your heart. My friends, this programming we've endured, let me tell you, that is as nothing next to your determined and earnest desire, next to the power you'll find within. There is nothing that can stand before the one who is engaged, one who is with higher self. And you can do this. I don't care what your programming says, just throw it off. Get to those beliefs that say you're nothing and the programming is so powerful, and kick their asses out. Clean house, I say. Take command. Whatever you do, turn the darn TV off. That is the major source of your continued programming. Enough said. Blessings, my friends. Wake up and smell the roses. They're there. Things are much better, so infinitely much better than how they've been presented, than how you've been programmed to believe. Time to throw out old, outworn, outmoded beliefs. Kick them out, and then see what remains. It's actually quite enjoyable. Oh, you'll have your moments, of course, your discomfort, your outright pain. Well, so what? You're no wuss. Get on with things. We've got a world to save, to win back, and that world is our own inner domain. Phew, what a fiery journal that was. Oh my God. One never knows when you journal just what will come out. I recommend highly that you journal your own journey. You don't have to post them or record them for the world to see. Just journal them. You'll find in it a power of internal communication with higher self, even with Source. Good day and God bless, my friends.